for you to fully realize this and bring this into the world, first, you have to be able to hold the truth of you, to stand in your power and to recognize that this is more than what other people think of you. This is more than judgment. This is more than people saying unkind things. This is a destiny. We've all come here with a divine purpose, traveling on a stream of cosmic dust from the stars into our mother's wombs, born into this precious life. It is no accident that you are here, my love, on earth, in this moment, in this body. You are here longing to find your place, to align with your purpose, to embody your passions and to live into the dreams of your heart. Yet so often we get caught, suspended in the tangle of life, not able to move forward, not able to find solace and comfort in a world that has forgotten the truth of our existence. As we begin to remember, as we peel back the layers, as we come together to uncover our unique gifts and reconnect with our authentic selves, we are able to see another way of being, a new possibility, a different life waiting to be lived. I have experienced on this complicated and wild journey of life that when we connect with the story of our soul, it will show us the magic of this life that we have been missing. It will open a window into the very heart of who we truly are, of who we came here to be, and gives us answers to our ever-asking why. Hello, my loves. I just love being here with you and this podcast and all the amazing guests that we've had. It's really something special to have so many people connecting, looking for guidance, really diving deep into their spiritual journeys. And I just am honored to support all of you. Thank you for this gift of walking this path with you. So Joanna is here with us today. And she has a fun topic. She was told by a psychic a number of years ago that she has the golden ticket. And at the time, she did not ask for any more details and has been on a winding journey of wondering, what does that exactly mean? So we get to hear a bit of her story and how this has taken her on a wild ride. And our conversation talks about being more in devotion to your destiny than to the opinions of others. We explore standing in the fullness of your power as you bring your work and truth into the world. We look at where are you projecting onto others beliefs and judgments that are actually yours, and how walking a really big path will shine a big light on any places you are not coherent within yourself and give you opportunity to explore. And then really honing in on the fact that your message is unique to you and how it's important to say what you're here to say in exactly your way, not in the way that you think other people might want to hear it, but in the way that your heart wants to say it, because that is the exact frequency that someone somewhere in the world needs. And it's so important that you remember that and not try to change yourself or your voice to please others. So before we dive in, speaking of not changing your voice, I just want to remind you of the Ignite Your Intuition free guide. Really helps you deep dive into what you're tolerating, into the places that you're stuck, and helps you find your truth, your voice, the things that you would love, and to help you choose them, to get you unstuck. And there's ceremony, there's meditation, all the things I love, I share with you in this guide. So enjoy. Also remember the quiz to discover what is your strongest psychic intuitive gift. I love to call it your primal intuitive power. And also I have new meditations and talks on the Insight Timer app. They're designed to support you on your intuitive journey. Love for you to go over there and check them out. I love you. Thanks for being here. Enjoy my call with Joanna. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to the podcast. How can I help you today?
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. So, I had a very unique question to ask you, and I'm hoping that maybe we'll get something from here, this lovely session with you. The question is, I was once told by a psychic that I have the golden ticket. And the thing is, I never really asked the details. So I would love to see what you feel from this question to me.
I love it. So you're immediately taking me to your heart, like this just beautiful, radiant heart that you have that is really here to inspire, to heal, to nurture. So when I share that with you, what related to what you've thought about, what you know about yourself, this question, what do you see in that?
Well, I am definitely a heart-based person, and I'm also a writer, so I definitely dive deep into my, I guess, emotions and feelings to write from my heart. And just how I am with people, I kind of trying to have relationships from the heart. So with the inspiration, yeah, I am also a writer and a poet. That definitely makes sense. And also a hypnotherapist. So I really put a lot of care and attention to my clients that I do. And each client is very special and unique to me. So I definitely put like my heart and soul into whatever I do.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah. What over the time that you were given this information, have you thought about this golden ticket? Like, what was your take on it, your interpretation of that information?
In the beginning, I was confused because I thought I was going to just win the lottery. So I did do some gambling, but I basically broke even. I won some, I lost some. So then I was like, maybe that wasn't it. So then something actually unique did happen to me that made me realize maybe that is my golden ticket. In 2012, it was like the Mayan shift that was occurring. I don't know if you remember, it was like
Mm-hmm.
December 21st, 2012. I had zero expectations. I just heard about it, the prophecy. I was like, okay, well, I didn't really think much of it. But on that day, I remember at about 10 something at night, I was living in Denmark. A very unique phenomena happened to me that day. This was 11 years ago now. And I heard, a tuning fork? Imagine you have a tuning fork right next to your ear. So suddenly I heard this frequency by my ear. And there was nobody playing any music or tuning forks or anything. It was like silence. And it was going on for about 2, 3 minutes, very loud, and then stopped. And I thought it was very out there. And then next thing I know is a green orb floating around my room. So the next day, I asked my neighbors, the people that I live with, if there was any music or anything the next day, like, I don't know, some revelation or something. And it was a normal, regular day, supposedly. And then a few months later, I started seeing some unique shapes and figures, as I like to call the crystalline codes, basically like the outer world, the realities, right? And at the time, it was just a really unique phenomenon. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know how to process it because imagine seeing something that is like in this 3D world, but actually doesn't belong, like this bizarre formation. So I just kept saying wow over and over. And it didn't like really connect until years down the line because it didn't go away for 11 years. Every single day I see it. And what I've been told that this crystalline code is like the code, the divine matrix code, basically, right? The code of creation. The point of that is like I've seen it, I understand what it means, and now I'm going to express it into the world. So I'm thinking it only makes sense that this part of what I see is part of my golden ticket. But I always thought the golden ticket will just be another like means, not that I have to actually express it into the world. I thought it would just be a different way. So I think maybe my golden ticket is me expressing this into the world of what this actually means and what am I seeing. I just thought it would be a different way. But so
Yeah,
me
I
like an
get
I don't
that.
want to say easier way, but I guess it's a lot to do.
hmm Yeah, I think that is true for so many of us and so many things on this spiritual path is that it's actually not the way we thought it would be in so many different ways, right? The words that were dropping in while you were talking was you are the golden ticket.
Mm. Mm. Well, that's beautiful.
What changes if you think about it that way?
I don't know if that's a lot of pressure. Like, it's like standing in my own power, right? I think that's the thing. It's like, imagine you're the golden ticket. I feel like there's so much pressure behind that, because expressing this kind of profound things, I know it's the time, right? The time we're in where a lot of this really unique, beautiful phenomena is going to be expressed. But to be the one to express it, I think that's where a little bit of, I don't want to say the fear, well, you could say a little bit of that. What are going to people think? And what I see, because I know what I see, right? It's my truth. I've seen it for 11 years. So, yeah, it's a little bit to process, I think.
Mm-hmm. Why is it important to you what other people think?
Well, when expressing something into the world that has not yet been expressed, there's a lot of judgment in that. It's not like, oh, I'm just expressing something that's been done or been said, because another strange phenomenon that I see is that for whatever reason I do, but I see atoms. I see actual particle of atoms. And people are going to think like, okay, whoa, are you crazy? And all this stuff, well, I'm not, because I see it. So I can't deny my truth. I'm not making this stuff up. Like if I were, I wouldn't even say it, right? So a lot of people would be coming at me in both sides with the positive and the negatives. And I know that I have to just kind of be aware of that, right? When there's something so new that's going to be expressed in the world, you're going to get all kinds of opinions. And to be strong enough to stand in my power when I didn't really get that support from like my immediate family, I have to find the strength in myself.
Yeah. What would having that support look like?
Well, I do have it in friends. I do have it in really good close friends that I have that I've met along the way for the past few months and years of them like just understanding and not judging. And even if they don't quite understand, they're open to understanding the way that I explain it and when I see that there's no judgment, right? But there's also going to be the contrast, because I have the people in my life that I know that are very understanding and supportive of me. But then I know once I express this, going to be the contrast. I have to be strong enough to take on the opposing sides, to not in an argument, just in standing in my power and owning what I see, in my strength. And that's going to be a lot to process as I go along the way. So it's like when I heard the golden ticket, I was really, I don't want to say hoping that it'll be like a little easier path, you know, than seeing this really unique phenomenon and now actually have to say it. Yeah, yeah. I know I will say it, but there's a lot holding me back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, who would you be fully realized standing in your power?
who would I be? Not sure yet. I think I'll find that along the way.
Well, that's where your power lives, right? As in really knowing who you are connected to your power. Because you're here with this incredible gift of seeing something that so many of us would just love to see, right? I mean, I can't see atoms. That's amazing. But for you to fully realize this and bring this into the world, first, you have to be able to hold the truth of you, to stand in your power and to recognize that this is more than what other people think of you. This is more than judgment. This is more than people saying unkind things. This is a destiny. And are you going to have the courage to explore everything that's holding you back so that nothing gets in the way of you bringing this gift to the planet?
hmm Yeah, I definitely will walk this path as you just so strong in me that I have to. Like, how can I not express this, right? Because the truth is so solid in me. If it was just like airy fairy stuff, like you really have strong convictions, but because I see it for like 11 years, that's a long time. But they're telling me now is the time. And they're kind of pushing this strength in me like saying now is the time, like it's time. I get why, because actually the funny thing is with the age of Aquarius, I actually didn't know what's happening now until I started like listening to the news. I kind of stay in my own little bubble, and age of Aquarius is like upon us, and I get why they're saying now. No matter what happens, right? The courage just to know that no matter what is said, I just have to know that my own truths and my convictions of what I see is absolutely true. And regardless of what anybody says, because like, once you say things like that, you're kind of labeled as already like bizarre and weirdo. you know, Generally speaking, I'm a normal person. It's just what I see is abnormal. But I know once I do say that, I'm going to be already in a different category.
Yeah, there's a place in here, love, because, right, you're saying I'm a normal person and what I see is abnormal. There's a judgment already in you, is how those words express to me. Like, why is it abnormal that you see things that other people can't see? To me, I feel like that's the magic of life. Like, that's what we're hoping to all move towards. And there's this like sense in you of your own judgment of you, your own lack of ability to like believe in yourself. And that's going to catch you, right? It's not about other people, it's about you.
hmm Like I believe in myself and my abilities. I blow my own mind of the things that I see and that I say, even the predictions that I make. But it's just knowing that, like I said, once I step in this space, then I will be known, like so known, that it would kind of change my life around, not in a bad way, but that means I'm going to be in a different, just there's a lot when you're like in the media and different things.
Mm-hmm.
When you have all this attention, it's a different space.
Yeah, it's going to shine the light on every part of you that's not in coherence with your path. It's going to accentuate any wounding, any beliefs, any programming. All of that is going to have to come to the surface and you have to explore it. You have to walk through it if you're going to hold the bigness of what you're bringing. That's just, I believe that's just the human experience, right? We have to live as the example.
hmm Yeah. Being like a hypnotherapist myself, I had unraveled so many of the childhood wounds and everything else before I became a hypnotherapist. That's how I became a hypnotherapist because I unraveled those. I got an opportunity to heal a lot of them, majority of them. And of course, there's little elements still left because it's life, right? You don't heal 100%. None of us do. There's always bits and pieces of things that still need healing. We're human. So I think just with me, like you said, is the believing in myself. Because I mean, if it was just me talking about my hypnotherapy, I absolutely love it. I can talk about it day and night, literally. I love it so much. And I just, every single client that I have has a small to large positive impact in their life. Every single one has a positive experience from my hypnotherapy. But now this other thing that I have kind of attached to me, not like I would say attached to me, like that I guess somehow like I don't know, that I signed up for, right? That's another level. like
Mhm.
like like I was just handed this.
So, what happens, right, in those places is you're shining the light on the bigger wounding. So, yes, you've healed a lot of yours, but when you start moving into these bigger realms, these bigger terrains of our world, you start to light up group wounding. So, you're going to light up in yourself any wounding around women, any wounding around humanity. Because as you step further into the light and further on this journey, we have to come to that place where we're all one, where we're all interconnected. And there's nothing that happens to other people in the world that isn't happening to you. And I think for those of us that are on these bigger paths, there comes the point where that is the space that we walk into, that it's no longer just about our own healing. We're healing the planet, and therefore we have to contend with what is happening to humanity. It's no longer just about us.
hmm Exactly. Exactly. And I think also, as you mentioned, and the transition of it as I step into this and then people see me the way that I am and then see the transition as well as I go along this path. I think that's also the strength. It shows strength, like I think a lot of people just don't show up with this strength and kind of build it along the way too, like each
Yeah.
step. And I think that's going to be my path because, I already have the strength from all this things that I've done in my life. But as I go, I think down the path, I'll find my strength as I go. I also do see spirits, ghosts, right? Whatever you want to call it. It's energy, really. I mean, if you want to say I see energy, basically. And I talk to them all my life. So I actually have a lot of people surrounding me that are guiding me. And they have been my support, but it's the invisible realm, which is really visible to me. But I guess it's not the human eye. It's actually what it is like, let's say, like a dog. It could hear certain pitches that we can't. So we're tuning in to certain frequencies. And as the earth is raising frequency, certain old souls that were incarnated as myself and so many others have their role to play in this ascension. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but it's not like a judgment. It's just the roles we signed up for, period. There's no judgment in it at all. So me seeing this phenomenon, yeah, it's definitely unique and it will be said. So you will definitely be hearing about me, that's for sure.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'll just mention one thing to you and tell me what you think is with the way that I express it, I do have a little bit of humor, a little lightness to it. Certain subjects are serious and I get it. I mean, of course, especially in therapy and just therapies. But in this, I kind of throw in some humor. So I just want to make sure that people take me seriously. I say what I have to say, but I kind of throw in some humor because kind of Source is not really that serious. Source really has a good sense of humor. Like,
yeah, I agree. I
yeah,
experienced that.
yeah. So it's like there's that play on like seriousness, and of course, right? And the thing is, he just told me that in the end, it's all good. He said that to me. It's not a he, she, it. It's just the almighty Omega. It's the spirit. It's the energy, really. I just call it he sometimes or she. And he just said, it's all good. And I had a whole discussion on that. It's all good? What do you mean it's all good? Look around. And he's like, no, no, it's all good. He's like, because no matter what choices you make, they're going to make you. So it's like everything had to happen to bring you to the now. I kind of say that to clients too sometimes after we finish the sessions. It's like even the really challenging times. And I think I have to remember that as I go along my path, right? To remember that. The things that I feel like are holding me back. It's time to kind of spread my wings, get out of my cave. It's like, I love being in my cave, but now I have to get out of my cave like a bear hibernating for like 20 years or something, and time to share this. So,
Yeah, it's important when we're gifted these big destinies that we live into them, no matter what life tells us. And you were saying about the humor, and I just wanted to add to that it's about you delivering your message in exactly the way that's correct for you. I think so often we can get caught in how do other people want to hear it? What should I say this? Should I say that? I wonder how it'll be received. That's where it gets muddy because we are here to be the oracle in the exact correct way that is us, the unique, authentic you. And that is how people will hear you, is when you are true to what you are here to teach. You will not be for everybody. You will not be able to speak in the way that some people can hear, and that is okay. But you do have a commitment to speak in the way that you want to, that you are here to. And that is the way that you bring your power to what you are offering to the world.
that's beautiful. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So if humor is part of that, then that is intended.
Yeah, yeah. And, so many years, so many experiences in life, gets us to this point of kind of figuring who we are. It's such a big thing where if you think about it, like asking, who are you? Right? It's like, well, I'm a particle, I'm light, but and that's just being funny. But who we are is a collection of the past, all the experiences, everything, our personality, all combined into one. Because, as a hypnotherapist, from the situations that clients or just me, just in general, go through, it kind of sticks on us, right? Of who we should be, of what others want, or what the world wants. And then we kind of mold ourselves into this shape that we think of what they want. And it's time to peel off the layers and just say to yourself, I know who I am, be confident enough to say it and not need any kind of approval at all. And that's where I'm at. I really am. At that point, it's just knowing that once I do take these steps, it will change everything. And it's just kind of being prepared for that, really, I think mentally and stuff, because you do have to be strong for that. But I definitely have support and I'm ready to walk this path because now I know who I really am and I'll learn, right? Because along the way, as we go along the way, we learn other things, other layers that we discover. And it's very, very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, as we bring this to a close, I'd love to hear what you're taking away from our call today.
Like you mentioned before, believing in myself just so strongly, just with more conviction. I do, but it has to be more. And not in a judgmental way. It's more of just looking in the mirror going, you are everything you need and you're able to do this and just worry less and just walk more, just kind of keep moving without worrying about the external world. Forget about it. You know your truth and that's it. So it's so beautiful you said that. Thank you for mentioning those things.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being here with a big journey.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Does this feel like an okay place to land?
Yes, we will land the plane. Absolutely.